What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's finally here, Phase 3 of the Conquest of Azeroth Alpha. Let me be the first one to say it. Thank you, Liquid Outer Space, Dutch, and the entire team that is working on this. It's been years since I've been this in love with something, and Phase 3 looks just as badass as ever. I just wanted to touch on a few things in this video, how leveling felt from 30 to 40, the gorgeous new talent tree, and some initial thoughts on it so far. Remember that it only takes a few seconds, but subscribing below and leaving a like on this video helps get this video out to as many people as possible. Let's dive into the video. To start off, let's talk leveling. So you may know, or if you're new here, you may not know, but I have leveled all 21 custom classes in Conquest Azeroth to level 30 in Phase 2. It took me a little over a month to do so, averaging around 6 to 8 hours to go from level 1 to 30. I did 90% of the classes through solo dungeon grinding, so I figured I would try some open world farming and questing to level my first character up to level 40. And of course, I had to go back to my roots, go back to my favorite class still, and that was the Venomancer. This class made me fall in love with this game, and trust me, from levels 30 to 40, it didn't disappoint either. It was a little slower this time around, but I was able to get from level 30 to 40 in about 4 hours in the open world just through grinding mobs alone. I had a stock of EXP potions left over, so I decided to use them here, and I suggest you doing the same. It was a nice change of pace, being outside for once while leveling, and doing that meant I could stay in high risk and reap all the benefits of that. I was able to score a few nice higher level dungeon pieces and made close to 500 gold in the first day just selling random gear to players. My most valuable piece is selling for 175 gold or more. I was able to snag myself 2 gut rippers for the hell of it, and I have been blasting monsters like a madman. If you are so inclined to dungeon group level, the random dungeon finder is finally operational. Grab your buddies and dive into the dungeons because it's not only the fastest way to level, but you are rewarded with a sweet cache of gear at the end, which allows for much quicker gearing in this new phase. Let's go over the talent tree with my Venomancer so you all can see the new system they got going. This will be the unscripted part of the video, so bear with me if I ramble just a little bit, okay? All right, guys, we are back with the Spooter Lady level 40. We were able to get some nice new gear. Check it out. So we got these from a buddy in our guild. We were able to find this in the open world, got this from a chest piece. The guy that I bought the 2 gut rippers actually gave me these shoulder pads for free, which is really, really nice. So thank you very much for that. I was able to get 2 gut rippers. I haven't enchanted them yet. I will probably here pretty soon, but let's go over the talent tree. This is honestly so badass looking. I know this is kind of like the... what was it, the Azerite armor type thing where these different concentric rings going out, but just the way it looks is just so fantastic. So you have your 3 skill books up here. You can't really see them, which is kind of weird. Like you can't see the full name, which is a little bizarre, regardless, but you get the Venom Priest. So this is like the Stalker form, this is a Scorpion, and this is the Nature Magic. So the ones that I took personally is actually the first one in each one. Let's go over the abilities of all of these so you can see what they look like. So Corrupted Fang gives your melee auto attacks a chance to poison, with Corrupting Poison dealing shadow damage. I take this one just because it helps with some single target damage and threat. Leg Strike is okay. It generates a lot of rage. The damage is okay. It's actually really low, but the slowing is really nice and the generate rage is pretty sweet. The Skitter is cool. You skitter forward 10 yards and gain a movement speed buff. Very cool. So Gripping Webs, this was already in the game. If you're tunneling and you come out, you grab someone and yank them to you. Really, really cool. This one, 5-second cooldown, instant cast. You deal nature damage to an enemy and generates rage. Only usable on enemies below 20% health. Now, this obviously is supposed to be like an execute ability, but it just doesn't do a lot of damage, so it seems kind of silly. This one is so funny. Organo Cannon. So... 2-minute cooldown, you burst out of your burrow, rooting yourself in 10 seconds and causing your Venom Spit ability to do 150% increased damage and have no cooldown for the duration. Very, very cool. So you just pop out of the ground, start spitting venom on people. Super, super fun. Over in Venomancer, so this is the fortification tree, I think is what that's called. This is your Scorpion form. Natural armor. While in Scorpion form, you generate 1 stack of natural armor, stacking up to 10 times. Each stack effect increases your armor value by 8%. Now, that's not base armor value. That's post modifiers, I do believe. So anything that adds flat armor will also get buffed through natural armor. So taking physical damage has a chance to drop it, and if you drop down to 0, you're exposed. I can tell you now, I can AoE grind like 15 physical mobs. I don't go down to 0. This thing is insanely OP. Hardened Carapace, 15-second cooldown. You absorb a little bit of physical damage, but really what this is while the shield holds, magic damage taken is reduced by 50%. So this is a short cooldown instant. So if you see a big spell coming your way, you can use this in a fight. Very cool. Threaten, this is your single target threaten thing. It's just a taunt, not too bad. Corrosion, this one's really cool. So 2-second cooldown instant. Melee range, you corrode the target's enemy equipment, reducing their armor by up to 30%, melee attack power by up to 15%, and nature resistance by 30%. So this thing is decent for PvP and really, really good for PvE. The only problem is I probably wouldn't take this as a tank. I would want another Scorpion possibly doing this because the other things are equally as good, if not better. Sting, so you deal weapon damage as nature damage, increase the duration of chitinous form. Very, very cool. This ability generates a lot of threat, but really, you don't have threat problems as a Venomancer. It's pretty nuts. So over here in the Venom Priest, this is just like the caster form. Miasma, this thing is really, really cool. You can use this in any form, so you can use it in Scorpion form or the Stalker form, excuse me. This one is insane. So you slow people's movement speed for 70 seconds, and this has a 40-yard range. So if you're doing PvP, you can just snipe somebody from 40 yards away and have 70% reduced movement speed on them. Super strong. The Anti-Venom cures one magic effect, poison, and a disease effect. So pretty good there. Ritual Healing. This one I could see taking as a tank. So you heal an ally, but reducing their damage taken by 15%. So if you are in a raid with 2 Venomancer tanks, you could swap these, and it's on a 4-second cooldown. It's a 1-second cast, which does kind of suck, but it doesn't say it's limited to any forms. So if you include this into your rotation as another Venomancer tank, you could just have 15% flat damage reduction. Super, super good. Wilt decays an enemy, dealing poison damage. This damage is dealt increased by your intellect, so you want to stack intellect with this class as much as possible. And then Web Wrap, channel beam of webbing at the target, slowing them, dealing nature damage. Ability only usable while shapeshifted. Really, really, really powerful stuff. I've been really enjoying it. I can like AoE mobs, or AoE grind like 15 to 20 mobs down there my level, which is insane. I can't believe Venomancer somehow got even better than it was before. So after hitting level 40 and messing around with some of the dungeons and new skills, what do I think about Phase 3? I'd say that it's feeling really great so far. The skills I've used on Venomancer have all felt amazing, and the high amount of players running around the place really makes it feel like the server is alive and well. I could trade things really easily, there's a host of new specs to be tried out, new BIS lists to strive for if you're into that, and so much more to see. I can't wait to get on my other characters and start blasting away there too. Before going, there's one thing I wanted to say directly to developers that, if I'm being honest, makes me really, really sad. You changed Shadra's Vigil to no longer be stackable. Of all the things you should have kept, this was one of them. It added such a new level of gameplay and dynamics that would have made this class feel wholly unique. It would have been hilarious and like next level fun to just see a group of Venomancers pre-hotting your raid like a giant production line, one after the other. If I would change one thing back, this would be it. Please, it was so fucking badass. I will leave you with some gameplay footage of my Venomancer absolutely decimating the content. I will see you guys in the next video.